person was doing what was best for them. You had this false sense of entitlement based on a label because you connected that label to your emotions. So now you feel like you should act this way because you my girlfriend, my best friend, her boyfriend didn't do it, or her girlfriend didn't do it, or my mom didn't. And it's like, no, people are on their own individual journeys, and it's not your job to tell a person how they should act or behave based on a label. And that's the thing. And a lot of people say love hurts, but it wasn't love. It was your expectations of love just due to the fact that you were attached to that person and you thought it was love. But it's like, that wasn't love. Love has nothing to do with taking advantage of people or hurting you, or that's not love. But people, and that's the disconnect that I try to make. I make it get to the root at the end of the day. Once you get to the root of love, you start to understand what love actually represents. So the whole getting into a relationship, the whole controlling, the whole pleasing my needs, the whole ego thing, the whole love is sacrifice, that's not love, because at the end of the day, you're not sacrificing nothing but your ego. So
Right.
if you want to say love is a sacrifice, it is a sacrifice because it means no ego being involved in love. There's no, I feel this way because this is my wife, this is my woman. Like, no. At the end of the day, you're going to love a person just because that's who you are, and that's what love is all about. People
Absolutely. So King
string you.
Daga said, or people string you along just to take advantage of your love.
Nobody,
And
uh-huh. You want to go?
yeah, and I think those there are a lot of cases of that. I think for me that was what happened with me. I think the person that I was with uh saw a lot of advantage of staying, so maybe that's why he stayed as long as he did. But I definitely think that what he's saying, there is some truth to that. Like some people will just stay around because it's convenient for them. It works for
Intentions.
them in that particular moment.
And
Um,
that's why I say intentions. Once you get to the intentions, I tell people I break intentions down at the foundation so there's no confusion. Your intentions behind dealing with a person is either rooted in selflessness, because
mhm.
selfless is not subjective, or it's rooted in selfishness. And when I say selfishness, is you're looking for something to receive behind you giving versus you giving just to give. And that's the thing. I tell people nobody can ever take advantage of you for being you. The only person that can take advantage of you is you for allowing yourself to do something you didn't want to do.
Right.
Now I believe it gives and takes. Now I know it's about giving and not expecting anything. If you have some sort of expectations, you should express that. So there's no mistake. But the thing is, when you express your expectations, it's rooted in selfishness. So you can say, my expectations is to get married, but I'm not gonna have sex with you unless you marry me. So then the guy might be like, okay, so if that's what you go, I'm gonna give you what you want so I can get what I want. But then he might have sex with you and then want to take your money. But then people are like, well, that's too much. I just wanted you to marry me. So it's like, what we mess up on is we try to do tit for tat. But my tit might be a lot bigger than your tat, but people don't talk about that. And that's the
Absolutely.
world we live in, to where it's like, well, I did this for you, so that means you got to do something this big for me. And it's like, no, if I do something this big for you, that means you got to do something this big for me. And people don't speak on that.
Yeah. So, um, Marceline says, now I believe that it's a give and take. Now I know it's about giving and not expecting anything. And if you have some sort of expectation, you should express that. So there's no miscommunication.
Yeah,
They are getting gifts and meals. Mm.
a
What do you
lot of
mean by
women
that,
do that.
Daga? A lot of women do that. No offense.
I don't know if he's talking about a lot of women do the like the
Give.
whole tit for tat. If you have sex with me, that means you gonna have to be my boyfriend. Or they try to do the give and take thing instead of being
Right.
like, at the end of the day, I just want to accept you for you. If you if you do what you do, that's fine with me, because at the end of the day, I'm not here to control you. But then they
Right.
put that label on it. Once they put that label, that relationship label, because that's all
Right.
the whole label is meant to let the world know that this person is quote unquote mine, and I have my feelings about. That's the whole story. I don't want to go there, but
Well, let's. Why not?
because a lot of people don't want to hear it.
I want to hear.
Oh,
We want to hear.
the whole aspect of the whole, because I'm big into psychology and sociology and understanding things at the root level. So the whole aspect of placing a relationship title or label or wanting the person to commit to you is based on controlling that person according to your feelings. So now it gives you a validation or a justification to why you can do it, because you're my girlfriend now, or you're my, and it's like, no, nobody belongs to anyone. At the end of the day, you're your own individual person. And
Say that
people
again,
don't
Najee.
understand that concept. So it's like it messes it up, because now you're you get into a relationship and a person becomes completely different from who they were before y'all got into a relationship, because that whole sense of entitlement and the whole sense of control and the whole sense of you belong to me. You can't be out here embarrassing me. You can't be. And it's like at the end of the day, they're not embarrassing you for being themselves. In order for anybody to feel any type of way about something that doesn't involve them, they must make it about them. So once you get into a relationship now, or once you place the relationship title on it, you're making everything they do about you. You're a reflection of me. You can't do this. You can't. And it's like, no, that a title doesn't change the connection that two individuals share. But a lot of times we place the title higher than the actual connection itself, because people can't see your connection, but they can see the title and they can hear the title, and you can act this way. You could take pictures and you can say this person is mine, and they can't do it. And it's like, that person don't belong to you at the end of the day. That's just your ego. But
I think it's really important that, whoever, I decide to attach myself with, in the sense of attach, I only say that to say the person that I choose to kind of do life with, right?
mm-hmm.
And for me, it's really about us choosing each other over and over on a daily basis, but knowing that at any day that it's their decision to decide whether they want to continue with you or not. I think that's so, for me, I think that's so dope, without without marriage on the table, without, I want it to be on the table, but without all of those things, like that doesn't matter. Like you're choosing that person, whether there's a ring or there's no ring. Every day you wake up and you choose that person over and over again.
Yeah.
For me, that is just so appealing and so attractive. And that's kind of what I'm like,
Striving
hoping
for.
will find me. Yeah.
My question to you is, would you be able to tell that if a person had to be in a relationship with you in order to show you that?
Would they have to be in a relationship with me?
No, I said, would you have to be able to, could you tell that without, basically what I'm saying is, could you tell that without the title?
That person is choosing you over and over again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you do that?
For me, I operate in the 3 C's.
Mm-hmm.
I think, in any relationship that I have, it's really important that the person is, one, considerate, the person is committed,
Wait,
and
wait,
also,
before you say committed to, what do you mean in committed? Just curious.
what I mean by commitment is, um, when I was an undergrad, I took acting for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about like committing, like when you recite a line, like you need to commit to it, like you need to mean it.
So you're saying you
So,
want a person to commit to themselves and becoming the best version of themselves, or you want a person to
absolutely,
commit to you, because you can't do
absolutely,
both?
absolutely. I want them to be committed to themselves.
Okay.
And so I think when you're committed to yourself, you exude commitment in a lot of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
In how you come into a room, how you command the room,
Mm-hmm.
like you are showing those, elements of commitment.
Okay,
I'm
so
not
it's not,
about,
you don't want them to commit to you. You're not trying to cut you off. I apologize.
no, I'm not trying to control them, but
Okay.
I need to see those things. I need to see those things in any relationship, whether it's platonic, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
the female, whether it's in any relationship. So I need you to be considerate. I need you to be committed. And I need you to also be, why can't I think of the third one? Considerate, committed, and I can't think, but yeah, I need all those three.
Good question. How long do you focus on fixing a relationship if it gets rocky? Um, I don't know if you want me to answer that, because I can. The key is, don't focus on the relationship. Focus on fixing. I would say fixing you. I'm a big advocate of self accountability. Even when it's not my fault, I blame myself, because I give myself the control to change situations. So my thing is, it's not fixing the relationship. It's fixing the aspect of something that you did wrong. A lot of times, women or guys don't feel safe enough to come and talk to a person. So create a space for that person to feel safe enough. Maybe you have expectations of them. Maybe you want them to become someone that they're not, and it's causing you up to become upset. Maybe you're hurt about your past, and your dad wasn't in your life, or your mom wasn't in your life, so now you feel like this person should be your mom, be your dad. It's like, what did you do to make this relationship rocky? So my thing is focus on fixing yourself before trying to focus on fixing the relationship aspect with other people. So it's not about, I don't know how long, it just depends on the person and how deep they want to go within themselves to fixing themselves. So it's not really a timetable, because my definition of how long it should take a person to fix himself is based on me. And I'm not here to say you should heal yourself within 5 days because that's what I can do. And it's like, no, however long it takes for you to heal, at the end of the day, just actually take the time to heal. Don't just speed over it. Really dive deep within yourself and figure out, why am I acting this way? Why do I want this thing? Why is this person? Why am I looking at this person from this lens? Because 100% of the people that we perceive as wrong and bad is just a reflection of us, and we're judging them based on who we are. And it's like, you can't do that. So that's just me, though.
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. That was a wonderful question. Um, I think I was watching a live, I think it was with one of the directors, one of the black directors on in Hollywood, and the person was talking to Halle Berry, and you know how you were talking about healing and fixing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Halle Berry said it her mouth, out of her own mouth. Somebody who we've kind of watched her life play out in media, how she went from one relationship to another.
Mm-hmm.
She said that that's so damaging to do that because you don't have an opportunity to really evaluate what happened in the relationship and also the possible role that you may have played
Mm-hmm.
in the dismantling of that relationship, and then really offer time for healing to take place. So it's really like, I believe she's in a place where she's still healing.
Mm-hmm.
And she said to herself, I know how you're like, there's really no sense in giving like a time frame,
Mm-hmm.
but she knew that she needed to at least give herself a year
Mm-hmm.
to do that healing, to do that introspective work before she would even consider getting into something else with somebody else. Like, what are
Mm-hmm.
your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts from people who are serial daters or serial monogamous people, or just always need to be with somebody? And I had a friend of mine tell me the other day, the quickest way to
Get
get
over
over a
somebody
man
is jump into the
is
next
to get
relationship.
under another man. And I just thought that was just so like damaging.
So my thoughts on that is they're escaping. They're running from something. They're not actually taking the time to heal. And the thing is, with healing, what makes healing so dope, psychological healing and emotional healing and things of that nature, not the physical aspect, is it can happen just like that. But a lot
Absolutely.
of times people don't understand, a lot of the hurt that we caused ourselves is just based on our perspective. So
Absolutely.
most of the time we view ourselves and we either put a person on a pedestal above us or we put them below us. So when you do that, you feed this person power and control over your mindset because you're already placing them on a pedestal. So now whatever they say, you feel like it's law, because when you place somebody above you, that means you're beneath them.
Right.
And a lot of people feel like I'm beneath somebody. So this person is giving me the opportunity because I'm not confident in myself. I'm insecure. And I feel like this person looks better than me. And wow, they can have all the people in the world, but yet they're still dealing with me. And it's like you start to put them on a pedestal. And then when they do something, it hurts you more, or you feel, yeah, you feel hurt by it more just because you placed them on a pedestal. And that's something that you have to work on. It's not them hurting you, it's more so you hurting yourself. But
Right.
as long as you continue to blame it and force it on somebody else, that's they're hurting me, they're always going to be responsible for your healing. And what a lot of people do is, instead of healing, because it's uncomfortable to go deep within yourself, because the moment you go deep within yourself, your whole perspective changes. You can't think the same way. You can't think as a victim if you're a survivor. So a
Oh
lot of
no.
people are emotional or identify with being a victim more so than a survivor, because they can validate their feelings of staying a victim as long as they're a victim. The moment you become a survivor, you can't still do the same stuff as a victim. When you know you're a survivor, it won't work that way. So it's easier for me to be a victim than it is for me to be a survivor. So what people do is they blame somebody else and get into another relationship. They break up, they blame somebody else and get into another relationship. So they're using that relationship as an escape to fill the internal void that they got within themselves, but nothing external can fill the internal void. It can do it temporary, but it will never permanently do it. You have to go internally to do that, and people don't want to do that.
No, let me tell you something. It is the most, when you're actually doing that healing, let me tell you something. It is not pretty. You have that ugly cry, you know, the one where you got snot, everything coming out your nose, like real healing, like that's what it takes. Like when you're really confronting your demons and your stuff and your junk. Like I remember the particular moment, like it's been almost 3 years. I think September will be 3 years since my I think it's October. October will be three years
Outside. Yeah.
since.
Oh, I got the whistling. I'm listening. You're fine.
No, no, no. Yeah, September will be 3 years since my separation, permanent separation. I don't know if that's the.
Oh, you were married?
Uh,
Oh
no, we
my
weren't. But I live in DC and have this thing called common law, and we
God.
lived
When you live
together
together.
for so
Mm-hmm.
long. So to kind of like separate,
Mm-hmm.
we had to like go through court, and it really felt like a divorce.
Oh, I got what you're saying.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Um, but I remember the particular moment when, you know how you were like, healing could happen
Mark.
like that. I remember cleaning out my closet.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was about several months into the second year. I remember cleaning out my closet, and I remember like it was like I was like um what's the word I want to use? It was like I was un
Okay.
unveiling.
Mm-hmm.
I was unpacking. There you go. I was unpacking, unraveling like all the elements of my healing, and it was such a healing experience to do that physical like cleaning of my closet.
Mm-hmm.
It meant so much for what I was going through. It's hard for people to look into themselves. It took me a while to say, okay, it's not always them. I gotta own my crap.
Yeah.
That's what we have
That's
to have
that's
to.
the key. That's the key. And the best way to do it is figure out who you are. And a lot of times we don't realize who we are is a reflection of our environment and the people that we looked up to and the people who pretty much we put on the pedestal. So then we do the same stuff as them and we don't get the same results as them. And it was meant more so because it wasn't meant for you to do their stuff because you have your own lane, they have their own lane. You have to figure out what works best for you and who you are and stop identifying with other stuff that other people did as a reflection of you because at the end of the day, it's all about you and you have to dive deep within yourself and do the healing because that's the key. The moment you take responsibility for your own actions and everything that you did, you are responsible for everything that you have to heal or everything that you have to do to get over that situation. It's easier to blame somebody else than it is to look yourself in the mirror and be like, that was my fault. I did that. And that's the
Yeah,
key to it all.
we have to look ourselves in the mirror and really see the role that we played in some of these failed relationships. Karen, how are you? Karen, we are talking about love, okay? So I want to hear from you in the comments, like, what is love? Like, what is love? What does it mean to you? Um, love is hearts. Love is emojis. I love
Yeah.
it. Uh, doing great. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. So I know I put you on the spot, but what is love to you? We're kind of gonna open the floor at this point for any questions that anybody may have for either Najee or myself on this topic. I joined at the right time because I was just thinking about taking ownership of our
Love is
actions earlier.
love is sharing your stimulus check.
Yes, yes. Love is accepting people how they are. Yes, Karen. Karen.
I'm not trying to change. That's exactly what I and that's what I tell people. That's my definition of love. And it's always funny when you talk to somebody and it's like, I love you. And it's like, what? You don't love you can't love me. It's
Right,
no, you
right,
don't even it's like, no, it's like I genuinely just accept you for who you are and I don't want
right,
to change you. And it's crazy because so many people have this idea of what love is. And then
right.
you ask them, what do you define as love in your own words? or love. I can't really. It's undescribable. I can't even put. But you're searching for something that you don't know what you're
Right,
looking for. It's
right,
like
right, right.
ah, I can't. But how my mind
Exactly.
works is different.
Karen says love is allowing them to be themselves without judgment. I love it. I love it.
I appreciate that.
I enjoy your energy. King Daga loves your energy, Najee.
Thank
So we
you.
got to
Thank
do
you.
this again. And also supporting their dreams and decisions, whether they agree or not, being there when they need you the most. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. Just to a certain extent, I would say,
Right,
because
right. I agree with you, Najee.
when
I
you're
agree
there
with
when they need you the most, a
you.
lot
You're
of times,
there when you can be, when
yeah,
it is,
when you can be,
when
it's
it
not.
works for both of
Yeah,
you.
because a
Absolutely.
lot of times people need to do their own
We're
healing.
like right here. I was
Yeah,
like, yeah.
it's just creating a safe space for them to be their truth and
Right.
most
It's
authentic
the
self.
maturity stuff I've been through. Be support, not a doormat. Mm-hmm.
Expectations is a lot to do with that though, and self
Absolutely.
healing. Because again, a lot of times people, I'm gonna do this for you, but
Right.
if I go through something, I'm gonna need you to be there. And it's like, no, just do it because you genuinely want to do it.
Right.
Don't do it because you're looking for something in return. That my thing
Right.
is, if I have to do something for you in order for you to stay true to yourself, please don't need me to do it or don't ask me to do it because I'm not, because that means you're coming to me fake, and I can't. Maybe it's something I did, but I apologize if I didn't create that space for you to feel and be your truest authentic self, because you should never want me to do something for you in order for you to stay true to yourself. Like I shouldn't have to do that, but a lot of times people are hurting and they feel like they've been taken advantage of and all this stuff. So it's kind of different with dealing with me because I love just because I love. That's who I am. Like I'm a loving person because I understand myself and I don't need the external to define me or to make me feel good or things of that nature. It's just I figured who I was, so it's just different for me. Okay.
Najee, you're really young, but you're like super, super self-aware, and I
Uh,
really love
thank
it.
you, thank you. I appreciate
Love
that.
I love it. So before this thing kind of like cuts us off,
Mhm.
I want you to take a moment and tell everybody that's in the room like what projects you got going on, how they can get a hold of you, what your socials are, share that with them.
My Instagram is Najee27, NAJEE27. Love is boundaries. I don't want to speak on boundaries. I have my own.
Yeah. There's gonna be a part two. How about
Okay,
that?
we can do
If you
that.
guys really love this live and you love this energy that Najee and I are kicking, like we'll do this again. What do you
Yeah.
think, Najee?
Yeah, I'm definitely down. I need to start doing more lives more often, like I used to. I used to
Okay.
do one every week, but then I stopped. So,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
follow the best thing that I tell people to do is to follow our Instagram or not Instagram. Our okay, starting off the pot. LOR.
Karen, stir up the pot.
But follow my YouTube channel. It's LEHAAND Najee, Leah and Najee, and Leah's the person that pretty much
Put it
we're
in the
changing.
comments.
Okay, pretty much Leah and I.
That's the other half of bondactionship, which we're gonna talk about another day because we can't get started and not finish this whole like thing y'all got going.
Yeah, can't have boundaries with my wife.
Uh-huh.
But
So if you
yeah,
have the links, you can leave them and then you could write and then I'll start talking about what I got going on, how
okay,
people can
that's fine.
get in contact with me. Don't blame you. Ain't nobody. Okay, okay. I think it was like stirring up the pot because you started talking about boundaries and you were like, oh, don't let me get into that.
Yeah,
So I think that's
boundaries.
what that was.
I just tell boundaries on if you have boundaries on another person's life, I don't agree with that. You should only set boundaries on your life, and a lot of times people use I'm setting boundaries as a justification to try to control another person's life, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
no. But that's why yeah, we can talk about it there another day though.
Absolutely. So before I leave you guys, this past Wednesday, we had Aaron Mallory, who was the featured guest on my podcast. And he is also a podcast host. He has a podcast. It's called Let It Go Podcast. He's also the author of The Terrible Life of a Beautiful Woman, as well as a life coach. So I'm all about like spreading the love. We all do a lot of the same things, but I think
Hmm.
it's really important that we support one another and that we're here for each other. I think there's enough of the bag out there for all of us to have a piece in it.
Yeah.
So if you guys missed that episode, I want you guys to head over to https://www.stitcher.com/this-life-I-live-in-truth. I will try to put that in the comments before it is over. Sorry, I didn't hear the name. Aaron Mallory, can you send me the info? Absolutely, Karen. I will try to leave it before it ends, but if it doesn't, I will try to see who watched the live and send y'all a little DM letting y'all know what y'all missed. But yeah, so the podcast, for those that aren't aware, it's a podcast that I started about 8 months ago, and it's called This Life I Live in Truth, and it's you guessed it, it's about living in your truth. Our goal for the podcast is really to empower our listeners to cancel the noise and to really seek the truth that's really often found in the light. It's about living your best and your most authentic life. I have some of the dopest guests on the show. Hint, hint, Najee,
I
Pritchett.
appreciate that.
So I'm always looking for guests. So leave me a DM if you know somebody who knows somebody who wants to be on the show. And as always, guys, to keep passion projects like this going, I want y'all to click the link in my bio and click the widget that says Become a Patreon for more details. And so if you guys are watching this evening, and you also know somebody who really could use my services as a life coach, I want to help that person,
Mhm.
whether that person wants to shift negative thoughts to those of positive thoughts and really wants to improve their life through life coaching. I really want them to give me a call. I'm trying to say this before it gets cut off. So call me. Phone number is 202-642-4076 for a free initial consultation. And yeah, and so we'll discuss needs and goals and see if it's a right fit. Thank
Absolutely.
y'all so much, Najee. Thank you
No
so much.
problem.
This
Thanks for
has been
having me.
amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm so grateful for everybody that tuned in. And until next time,
Oh, she
I
said, can
want
she find it
y'all.
on iTunes?
Absolutely. It's on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Spotify.
That'll work.
Yeah. So I encourage you guys all, cancel the noise, seek the truth that is often only found
Appreciate
in the
it.
light.
I
Thank
appreciate
you
that.
guys. Bring him back. He's dope. Yeah, he
Thank
is. All right. Bye,
you.
guys.
See you later. You have a good one.
You too.